Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. I can't believe I'm about to say this. This is actually the second time that I've recorded this entire video. I started recording around about 9 o'clock this morning. It was terrible. I got about halfway through it and thought, I'm going to stop this, but I thought, no, I'll soldier on and keep going. But it was awful. Way too many notes on here. Stuttering and stammering all over the place. So I've taken a break for half an hour and I've come back and decided to do it again. So I will apologise now if it doesn't get uploaded to YouTube until sort of lunchtime or slightly after. But if you'd have seen it, you'd have probably have said, "Oh God, here we go again." But no, honestly, it was absolutely terrible. It was bad. One of my worst ever. So hopefully this one will be okay, because I don't think I've got the time to do it again, because I've still got next week's Saturday review to do. But we'll see how we go with this. Another quick apology before I go any further for my lack of interaction with you guys last week and my lack of activity within the group. I've had a few personal issues to take care of, which if you saw the post that I put on last night, you will pretty much know about. My mum's not been well, so I've been spending a bit of time up there. Work's been hectic, totally manic, and I've just not really had time to. I've been sort of looking at the posts, but I've not really had the time to sort of sit there and reply to this. So I am pretty much still trying to catch up with everything that's been going on this week. And my God, you guys have been busy this week. I don't think I've had so many notifications in a week ever as I've had this week. And I did say either last week or the week before that I wanted as much to talk about as possible. And I think Jason, you said he's going to regret saying that. On one hand I do, and on the other hand I most definitely don't. I do need as much as possible to talk about. What doesn't get mentioned today will get mentioned on the Saturday review video that I'm going to record straight after this one. So if I do miss anything out on this one, don't panic. I will be coming back to comments and stuff next weekend. So let's see, what have I got here? And I'll also be doing something on the TV thread that's running on Retro TV Zone. I think you mentioned, Jason, that you would like me to do some kind of a video on that group regarding what's been going on there over the last week. Now, I haven't had time to check the posts as yet, so I'm looking forward to seeing what TV programs have been mentioned over this last week. So I will be doing something video-wise to do with that. Whether it'll be a separate video to put on that group, or whether it'll be something that I tag on to the end of one of the sort of Saturday reviews or Sunday service, I'm not sure yet. I'll see how much material I've actually got to work with. But if it's only going to be a fairly short one, I'll probably tag it onto the end of one of the others, but we'll see. I'll take a look at those videos sometime probably later this afternoon. Not videos, posts. And I'll see what's been coming out on that one. But I'm really looking forward to seeing what's going on with that one. Old TV programs are an absolute love of mine, as you will know, from the many sort of network DVDs that I've been showing off over the last few months. I do love old TV, and most of mine will be from sort of the 80s, 70s, 60s. And yeah, the younger members of the group, such as Chris, Mark, will probably be puzzled by some of our choices, Jason, because you like the old stuff as well as I do. So they will be slightly puzzled by some of them, and I'm fairly sure that we'll be hearing quite a lot. Something like, I've never heard of that, I don't know that one, but we'll see. But yes, I will be covering what's been going on Retro TV Zone at some point over the next week or two, so watch this space on that one. Right, comments on last week's video. Let's see, just bear with me. Callie, another great episode, Tony, thanks for that. As for films I'd love to see on the big screen, it would have to be the Predator films. I love those films. Quite agree with you. I didn't see Predator on the big screen. My first experience of Predator, as I've said before, was when it was released on VHS when I was working at Stapenhill Video at the time, and I don't think I've ever seen so many copies of one film come through the door at one time. There must have been 3-4 boxes of them, and they took up a whole panel of the shop, and every single copy, it must have been 30 or 40 of them, all went out that day. I think everybody pretty much knew that that movie was going to be released on that day, and they were all down there sort of after a copy of it, and it carried on like that for a week or two. It was very rare that we had a copy left at the end of the day of that one, but I bet it would look amazing on the big screen. I did see Prey, which was the latest one released by, I believe, Netflix last year, which I thoroughly enjoyed, but I can't say in all honesty that I've seen any of the other sequels. I've not seen Predator 2. Was there a Predator 3, or did they all have sort of different names after that? I'm not sure, but I've not seen any other Predators apart from the original and Prey, so I do need to catch up with those. But yeah, good choice, Kelly, on that one. Steve Mack, Dalton Trumbo. This is regarding a movie that I showed off last week called Trumbo. It's interesting, the films he contributed writing to whilst he was blacklisted, a massive misstep on Hollywood's part. It was obviously blacklisted by the McCarthyism thing. I don't know much about it. All I know is there were a lot of movie stars, directors that got caught up in the crossfire. Basically, they thought they were sort of Russian spies and all this crap. They were quite paranoid about stuff like that back then. So yeah, I do need to watch Trumbo, definitely, and I would like to look into him a little more to find out a bit more about him, because I can imagine he's a fascinating character. You put that you loved We Still Kill the Old Way, and you've now bought the sequel to watch. Yeah, I've got both of them. I saw We Still Kill the Old Way many months ago and thoroughly enjoyed it. Nasty film, but really, really well done. And Ian Ogilvy was just a revelation. I've only ever seen him in Witchfinder General and Return of the Saint, and I thought he was absolutely superb in this movie. I've not seen We Still Steal the Old Way yet. I don't know what put me off it. After watching the first one, I would normally have gone straight on to watch the sequel, but for some reason it didn't appeal to me. But I thought, do you know what, we'll give it a go, because I've heard very, very good reviews of it. So I have got it on Blu-ray. I will be taking a look at it, and I'll let you know what I think when I've actually seen it. And then he went on to mention the movie I would love to see on the big screen is Lawrence of Arabia in Super Panavision 70mm. Wow, wouldn't that be something? That would be one hell of a movie to watch on the big screen. Just the sheer majesty of it on a massive screen, those desert landscapes would look absolutely superb. So yeah, I mean, what would that look like on IMAX? You've seen IMAX, I haven't, but I'm guessing it would look amazing on IMAX. Has it had a Blu-ray release yet? I'm being lazy now. I could look on on Amazon. I seem to remember looking for it on not Blu-ray, 4K. I do apologise. Here we go. I do remember looking for a 4K release of it a while ago, and I think it was classed as unavailable on Amazon. So whether it's been deleted already or whatever, I don't know, but I would love to see it on 4K. I have got a Blu-ray of it, but 4K would be the closest I think I'm going to get to see it on the big screen. And you also mentioned West Side Story. That's another one, classic musical. I love the original, and I also liked the remake, the Spielberg remake. I thought that was really, really well done. I was not dreading watching it, but I thought, what the hell are they going to do with it? This is a classic movie, you can't touch that. But Spielberg worked his magic and created something very, very special. So yes, I did enjoy the remake, and yes, the original would look amazing on a big screen. So good choices there, mate. And you also saw, I noticed this on a post, I can't remember where I saw it now, but you saw Kate Bush at the After the Dawn tour that she, well, it wasn't so much a tour, it's a series of a handful of shows in one theatre, I believe. I've got the CD, and I'm fairly sure you've got that one as well, which I've listened to several times. I really, really love it. What I would love to see is a Blu-ray release of that concert. Now I'm guessing that after all this time, it probably isn't going to happen. But you're sort of well in with things like this. Have you heard any rumours of any kind of a physical media release of this? Because I would love to see that concert. I believe the tickets sold out in minutes. I mean, I wouldn't have been able to go anyway. But I've just reading that how fast those tickets sold, I thought I wouldn't have stood a chance. So yeah, have you heard anything about a physical media release of that? Because I would love to see it, and I will be catching up with your latest Let's Talk Criterion video a little later on. I couldn't even pronounce the name of the movie that you're reviewing this time. I've not put it on the notes here, so I'm not going to make a fool of myself with that one. But I look forward to having a look at that. Jason Kerr, our Ginger Ninja. I'm one of those people that didn't like The Flash, but I also didn't hate the film. I don't like Ezra Miller's version or interpretation of the character, and I've not since he started, and way too much bad CGI. Everybody seems to be talking about The Flash at the moment. This is one that I do need to take a look at, and I'm very, very tempted, with it being a visually stunning sort of movie, to grab a copy on 4K. I may do that. Everything that I've heard about it convinces me that I would probably enjoy it. So I'll have a look at what price it's going for on Amazon, and I may just treat myself to that. Let's see. As for a movie that was before my time, or I was too young to see in the cinema, where do I start? Here we go. Soylent Green. I've not seen it, Jace, but I have got it on Blu-ray. I bought it from Amazon. HMV. A few weeks ago, but I've not had a chance to have a look at it yet. Logan's Run. Watched this a few weeks ago. This was one of my Saturday night pizza and a movie night choices. Absolutely brilliant. It still looks absolutely stunning. It was released in 1976, so we're looking at a movie that's getting on for 50 years old, and it still looks amazing. Michael York, Jenny Agutter, Farrah Fawcett was in there as well. Just a brilliant movie. There have been rumours floating around for years that it was being sort of got ready as for a remake or a reboot or whatever you call it. I'm not sure. I wouldn't class it as an untouchable movie. I would just hope that the people who take it on know what they're doing. Because it is a beloved film. It gave birth to a TV series which was just brilliant. If you've not seen the TV series of Logan's Run, Jason, I would definitely look it up. It is absolutely brilliant. I think they only made one season, and I think there were only about 13 episodes, but absolutely superb. I did show it off once. If I think on, I'll grab it from upstairs and I'll show it off on the Saturday review next week. I've just got to hold on to that thought for the next sort of 15 minutes. We'll see how we go. But if you've not seen it, I would definitely recommend it. So Logan's Run, definitely. I didn't see it on the big screen, but I would love to have done. In widescreen, it would have looked superb. Planet of the Apes. I did see Planet of the Apes on the big screen. They used to release them in the 70s on double bills, the Apes films. I think that one was twinned with Escape to the Planet of the Apes. Now, this was in the days when they didn't used to make you wait outside before the previous screening had finished. So they let us in, and we had to stand on the stairs, basically watching the end of the film, which wouldn't say completely ruined it, but that ending is legendary, and it would have had quite an impact if I hadn't seen it coming. But it was pretty much the first thing I saw when I walked up the stairs was this ending, which I'm not going to mention because I'm sure there are people out there that have not seen it yet. But I love all of those movies. All of the Apes movies I absolutely love, apart from the 2001 remake. Was it 2001 with Mark Wahlberg? I don't know why, it just did nothing for me at all, but I definitely will be rewatching the 5 original Apes movies very shortly. I'm due to give them another go. Night, Dawn, and Day of the Dead. Didn't see any of them on the big screen, but I do remember Dawn of the Dead being released on Intervision Video. Blimey, it would have been about 1980, 81. The same label that released The Exterminator, all that kind of thing. I watched it, even I was stunned at how violent and gory it was, but a brilliant movie. Westworld, not seen it on the big screen. I'm not sure whether I've seen this one at all, actually. I've certainly seen bits of it. I know Yul Brynner is in it, but I bought it on Blu-ray, and I've also bought the sequel, Future World, which stars Peter Fonda, I believe. So I will be taking a look at both of those. Scarface. God, this is one of those movies, whenever I mention it to somebody sort of a lot younger than I am, they know it. It's kind of, I don't know, it's one of those movies that, like I say, if you mention it to somebody that's a lot younger than you are, they've seen it, they love it, they've probably seen it many times, and they probably weren't around when it was originally released, which always surprises me. But it's one of those movies that was, released in 1983, and it just kind of grew legs and ran with it. And it's taken on a life of its own, and now it's, 40-something years old? Or I think it's 40 years old this year, so I'm guessing there's going to be some kind of 40th anniversary release of this, maybe in 4K. So that might be worth a look. But yeah, Scarface, superb. Return of the Living Dead. Saw it on VHS. I can't say that I've seen it since. Superman, the list goes on. Superman, absolutely superb. I did see that on the big screen, I'm fairly sure I did. And it was quite an experience, a bit like Star Wars and Raiders of the Lost Ark. The big screen is the place to watch these things, but as I've said before, Christopher Reeve will always be my Superman, always. Even though I've been watching recently the old George Reeves TV series, the black and white one from the 50s and early 60s. Some of those episodes are really, really good. And I've managed to get hold of a Superman cinema serial, which again I'll show off if I think on. But yeah, that's a cracking list, Jace. Well done for that one. Gareth, you were talking about Andy Sidaris, and you said we never really got Andy Sidaris' films in this country. I had to import the box set from America. But if you like attractive naked ladies and hilarious stories, it's definitely for you. Well, I'm halfway there. I just find things like that fascinating, especially when it's somebody that I've never heard of. Usually, sort of directors, stars, movies, even if I've not seen them, I've usually heard of them. But Andy Sidaris was a complete mystery to me. But I've got hold of a handful of his movies, and I will be taking a look at them, because I get the feeling they're going to fall into the so bad they're good category, but we'll see. And I'm probably going to take a look at that live stream that you did on Andy Sidaris earlier this week. I'm going to be taking a look at that to get a bit more knowledge behind that. And I loved, by the way, that VHS that you posted of the Empire sort of videotape that you got free with the magazine, showing all of 1996's trailers a year ahead of when the films were released. I remember that coming out, and I did used to have that. I may even still have it upstairs somewhere, I don't know. But I thought that was great. I watched about 10 minutes of it and thought, I'm going to stick this on one night on the TV. But yeah, I said that I couldn't believe it was nearly 30 years ago, and you replied, but 1996 is only 5 years ago, right? Now there's a joke in there somewhere. But me being dim and old, I don't get it. So you caught me out with that one. You also did a comparison between the theatrical cut and the extended version of Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves, which is another one that I need to take in at some point. Jason, you said it's a brilliant movie. I wonder if Tony Harris has caught up with this yet. I'm afraid I haven't. No, I do want to grab a copy of the Blu-ray extended version. So I will be grabbing a copy of that and watching it for sure. And you were saying that The Commitments and Robin Hood were both out in 1991. I think he was in prison. For what? Oh God. And then you put, oh, that's it, yeah, yeah. Gareth, you put, yeah, as a guard, I'm sure. Can you imagine me in a guard's uniform? Do you want to imagine me in a guard's uniform? No, 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 no. Let's see. Jace, hope your missus is feeling better, and for that matter, I hope you're feeling better and all, because you caught it and all the dreaded C. People think it's gone away, but it hasn't, has it? You put some interesting comments on this week. I'd like to know, Tony, but I'm guessing the ones you've binned from Bin It or Keep It are actually still in your house. I'm afraid they are. And I do look across at them every now and then and think, are there any in there that I should take out? But I won't. If they're gone in Bin It or Keep It, they're going to stay there. And I will be taking them down to the RSPCA shop at some point soon, or the RSPCA facility in Stretton, because they can transport them to the shop from there. But yes, they are still in the house. You put, I think you should really have a good sort out ready for next summer. Chris have one too. Do a car boot together, separate tables but next to each other, and see who does better. Can you honestly see that working? Can you honestly see me at a table next to Chris without crossing over to his table and saying, oh, Chris, I'll have that. Oh, yeah, I'll take that one. Oh, I love that one. I would come back with more than I went with. And I have the feeling that Chris probably would too. So it's a cracking idea, but I honestly can't see it working. Not the way you think it will anyway. You can guarantee if a film gets mentioned in the group that you've not seen for ages, isn't available on any streaming platform, or not even on the dodgy stick. I must talk about the dodgy stick one day. There are people who probably don't know what that is, but we shall clue them up. And also not available to buy, I bet Tony has it. I don't have one in mind before you ask. He has everything. I do like rare movies, I've got to admit. And when I come across a movie that, you know, is interesting to me and is not available, I consider it like a personal quest to go after it. I failed quite a few times. I was looking for one this week and I can't remember what it was, and I literally can't find it anymore. Oh, that's it. I was watching a Barbara Windsor dramatisation or drama based on the life of Barbara Windsor. Last night this was, and apparently she starred in a movie with Jane Mansfield, the blonde bombshell from the 50s and 60s. I think it was called Too Hot to Handle, and I can't get it anywhere. I've not quit with it yet, but I will do eventually. But yeah, that's one that I wouldn't mind taking in at some point if I can find it. But yeah, I don't sort of find them all of the time. Let's see, where are we? Jace, you also put great vids again, mate. Appreciate that. Now this comment will probably get talked about in 2 weeks, so I'd have forgotten what I said, so I hope you're taking notes. Yeah, this is an odd one. Obviously with recording one episode sort of a week before, a lot of the comments that I read out will have been forgotten about, and I'm not really sure what the answer is to that one. That was the only sort of advantage of doing it on the morning, is that you were, you know, reading out comments from sort of a couple of days ago. I need to think on that one. Leave that one with me. I may need to jiggle it about again. I don't know. We'll see. But you put a list of bullet points here. 1, I agree with the Marvel movies, TV shows, too many to keep up with. Not watched one since Spider-Man's last outing. Christ, here we go. As for The Flash, you may have heard some things about it that make this a great movie, especially when you're not expecting them. I'll await your review. The Flash seems to be the subject of the week. I think I am going to have to grab a copy of this and have a watch of it. Number 2, Barbie may have made $1 billion, but once you've paid, there's no refunds. How many were still seated at the end? You really don't like the idea of this movie at all, do you? And nothing I say is going to convince you otherwise. Maybe, I don't know. When I've bought it on 4K and had a watch, I'll do a review of it. But I don't think you're going to be convinced on that one, are you? Number 3, cinema. I'd go and see Jaws in 2025 if they showed the version with the uncut scenes in. So give us this version. God, I wish they would. I don't know what scenes were cut, but I've seen stills that look amazing. So yeah, I would love to see that. And in 2025, they're going to have to do something really special because this is 50 years. So they're going to have to do something really, really good for that. Let's see. Films I am glad I saw on the big screen: Silence of the Lambs, Terminator 2, and Jurassic Park. So saw all of those on the big screen. Loved them all. Absolutely, still do now. The Commitments. Myself and Guy bloody told you, when are you going to start listening to your regular zoners? I do listen to you, honestly. When you recommend a film to me, it goes on, obviously, my ever-growing watch list. My thing is just finding the time to sort of fit them all in. So I do listen, as you know from last week when I watched The Commitments and thought it was absolutely brilliant. So yeah, I do pay attention to you. Number 5, only you can have a DVD and Blu-ray of a film you've never seen. Tarka the Otter. I don't know how that happened. I did buy it on DVD, years and years ago, and then Network had a sale of Blu-ray movies, and I saw it and thought, yeah, wouldn't mind that. Grabbed it and then realised promptly that I'd actually got it on DVD as well, which is why it's winging its way to the charity shop at some point. Number 6, keep up the good work. I'm sure you and Guy will love my TV choices. I'm sure we will. I can't wait to get into this. I'm going to take a look, probably when I finish recording this, and see what's been going on there. 8, and this week's head transplant is Robbie fucking Williams, and take that. I guess I asked for that one, didn't I? I did kind of go off on a rant about the wonderful Mr. Williams last week. So yeah, I did kind of ask for that one. And you put a post on, I think it was yesterday. You put just a bum and leg check test, folks, as Facebook wouldn't allow my Living Daylights movie poster to be used on Saturday's weekend genre, so just checking these ones. You put 5 or 6 on there. I think I Spit on Your Grave was one. Was For Your Eyes Only another one? I think it was. What on earth? Why are they objecting to the poster from the Living Daylights? It's a Bond movie, a PG Bond movie from like 30 plus years ago. What the hell is going on with these people, and when is it going to stop? You got me on that one. I'm completely confused by that. Chris, glorious Sunday service, sir. Enjoyed it muchly. Thanks, Chris. Really appreciate that. I'm looking forward to watching The Flash just to see my favourite Batman. Keaton embodies the role perfectly, and it has been far too long since he's graced my screen. The Flash again. I do need to get hold of this. I seem to be the only one in the world that's not actually seen this, so I will be grabbing a copy of this one way or another and see what I think of this. One I would love to see on the big screen is The Exorcist. I love a horror movie, and that is one I'd love to see. My God, on the big screen, it would look amazing. Obviously, I didn't see it on the big screen when it was first released. This would have been 1973, so I'd have been, how old would I have been? 11. I'd have been traumatised for life if I'd have watched The Exorcist at 11. So yeah, I do kind of get that. And there is a thing at the moment where there are a lot of movies being screened all over the country, and with a live orchestra playing the soundtrack, the score, while the movie is playing. That would be amazing. So yeah, OMG, you put, now you're talking. Exorcist with a live band. I'm on the hunt to see if anywhere will be doing this. Somebody will be doing it at some point, I'm sure of it. So, right, I'm going to have to take a break here, folks, because I'm coming up to 30 minutes. I'm either going to do an extra time and post another video maybe 10-15 minutes later to finish all this off, or I will tag it on to next Saturday's Saturday review. So thanks ever so much for joining me, folks. I'm so pleased this one's gone better than the last one did. It really was bad. Take it from me, it was bleeding terrible. This one hasn't been too bad, so I'm going to leave this one alone, and I'll get it uploaded, so hopefully it won't be too late before you get this one. Thanks again for joining me, folks. You'll either see me a little bit later on, or you will be seeing me again next Saturday with the Saturday review. Take care, have a brilliant week, and I will talk to you all again soon. Take care. Ta-da.